what he's saying is that basketball players should put basketball before self, and I guess more specifically the NBA before self. He goes on to question the validity of Derrick Rose's injury severity and whether or not he actually sat out games that he could have played. And look, man, each man has to decide whether or not he's ready to play. It has to be a decision that you make based on, a number of factors. The value that you think you can bring to that given sport, that given team, that given game. How it will impact you down the road. How it will hurt you as far as your brand. These things aren't absolute, of course. It depends on what you value. But for the most part, athletes value their brand, their money, and their career. And then, some may put value on their post-career, but most are short-sighted. And so again, you have to assess what your values are. And Derrick Rose has told us very explicitly that he values self over the game of basketball. He values his family over the game of basketball. And again, I double salute him for doing so. And then you have Kenny Smith ending his diatribe with a ramble about the injuries of basketball and comparing them to the injuries of football, which made absolutely no sense. Now, yes, you can get a concussion at a much higher rate in the game of football versus the game of basketball, but there are some very dangerous injuries that you can sustain in the game of basketball. Look, man, to thine own self be true. It brings to memory the movie Any Given Sunday. If you haven't seen that movie, I definitely suggest you see it. Not only for this to make sense, but it's a pretty good movie. It's fairly long, about 2.5 hours, but it's a great movie. I used a clip of it in the Habib and Connor video. Actually, I used a clip of Jamie Foxx doing stand-up based on that movie. He was in the movie. But anyway, back to the movie, you'll note that there were a couple of players, namely the starting quarterback. Can't think of his name in real life. I think it was Cap. Name in the movie. I think it was Cap. In real life, his name is Dennis Quaid. And then you have Lawrence Taylor, who I believe, I forgot his name in the movie as well. But basically, both of these gentlemen were veterans. They had pretty much every injury that you could have at their position. Lawrence Taylor played the linebacker, and Lawrence Taylor was having vision problems. What's really sad is that he had an incentive in his contract that would pay him X amount of money if he got, I think, another sack or something like that, where he was incentivized to continue playing when he definitely should have not played. So in other words, he left it all on the field. He gave it all to the game. And in the end, I'll let you see what happened to him. But again, it just brings home what your value should be. Now, mind you, they had a doctor on that team that really had their best interest in mind, but they have been so brainwashed as players throughout their careers to believe that they should leave everything on the field of battle like warriors and die if necessary, that they had overlooked their own well-being and their own health to sacrifice for the team. Now, while you might say that's noble, I think it's foolish and it's sad. But again, that's just my perspective. So as you look at these tweets, these series of tweets from people across the world in response to Derrick Rose's career night, you've seen such things as "Hard Work is Undefeated" by CJ McCollum. I love that. I may actually put that on a t-shirt. Don't tell him I did that though. Reggie Miller, "Don't Call It a Comeback." I love that too, because people can get caught up in this and forget that he's been a solid player all the way through this. It's just that he's had a difficult time actually being on the court because of the injuries. But once he's been on the court, he's been productive. If he's given the opportunity, he's definitely been productive. And then, of course, to that point, Marcus George's Hunt said never lost it. Again, he just needed opportunity and health. And when opportunity meets health for Derrick Rose, you see what happens. And Isaiah called it inspiring. And of course, Isaiah Thomas, not the OG of the Detroit Pistons fame, but this young version who played with the Boston Celtics, most notably, and was in the MVP running 2 years ago. That Isaiah Thomas, he called it inspiring. Now, he's battled hip injuries, and so he knows about that long journey back from injury and then having to deal with not feeling like yourself and not being given an opportunity to showcase those skills once you feel like you're fully healthy. And then you have Stephon Marbury, a bit of a basketball story enigma, if you will. I'm actually going to do a story on him. But anyway, you see his comments. Remember when people were hating on you and making jokes? Enjoy your moment. And so I think this is bigger than the moment, but I understand what Stephon was getting to. He was the butt of many jokes for a long stretch. He got ridiculed and critiqued and criticized for leaving Minnesota for whatever reason. Again, we'll get into that. But he understands. So there's a bit of empathy that he has to Derrick Rose. And so I think it was a very sincere statement. And it just goes to show you, these tweets along with the rest of the tweets, the level of love that people have for Derrick Rose. And then it also just goes to show you the nature of the world we live in as far as how news travels and it becomes viral and how quickly people forget and move on to the next thing.
Derrick, the clock winds down and your teammates kind of mob you, and it seemed like you were very emotional. Can you just take us through what you were feeling and what was going through your mind and heart at that moment?
Just a lot of hard work I put into my craft, and it's all about rhythm. And like I said a couple of days ago, it's all about finding my 1-2 into my shots and knowing like what to do in the game and figure things out during the game, and coming back here, like being comfortable with Tibbs and the staff and just playing basketball, just being happy playing actually a lot. And like I said, it's all about just timing. A lot of people was confusing my opportunity with my confidence with opportunity. And tonight I just had the opportunity to go out there and play the way that I normally play.
Having that opportunity and taking advantage like you did, when was the last time you felt like that on the court?
I mean, I feel like that every night, but I can't go in and shoot. How many shots I shot tonight? I can't shoot 31 shots every night. Like it's a team effort. So coming in off the bench, trying to see what the game need, figure out the game. And tonight we was down 3 players. So 2 players. So we had to figure things out on the go. And my teammates gave me that confidence to go out there and play the way that I did. Like I come in, I work my butt off every day. And the last couple of years, I've just been looking for an opportunity to go out there and play the way that I normally play. And that's a free and easy game. And just having the ball in my hands. And majority of the game, my teammates were running with me. I was talking throughout the entire game on the defensive end and on the offensive end. And to tell you the truth, this is the most I ever talked to my teammates in my life, because I'm kind of like a vet on this team. And early on in my career, I was figuring things out too, but I had great vets. So being in this position, it's all about leading by example and just staying in their ear because we have a young team.
Coach said earlier that he's told you that he thinks every NBA career, every story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And he thinks the end for you is going to be really a good one. When you hear a coach say something like that, how does it make you feel?
It makes me feel good, especially coming from Tibbs. This is the same man that I really didn't get a compliment from him until after I won the MVP. And that's like no disrespect to him or anything. It just shows you that it's tough love, but I'm used to tough love. My whole life has been that way. My mom, she taught me the tough love. She had to be the pops and the mom, and she got the nurture. So I'm used to it, and if anything, when I'm out there, I just try to impress them. I come in on days that I shouldn't shoot shots or whatever, and just try to get my work in, and I think it's finally paying off.
Most of the time when you have the ball in the half court, are you working off instinct?
Yeah. Back when I was coming off my injuries, I wasn't reacting. I was thinking, and that might sound weird or backwards to a lot of people, but when I'm at my best, I react instead of think. So I see what foot you got forward. I see how they're playing me, and I'm blessed and talented enough to get to certain spots by just you playing me a certain way. So the last couple of years, I didn't have that rhythm. I didn't know if I was going to float the ball. I didn't know I was going to pull up. I didn't know if I was going to go all the way to the rim. I didn't know if I was going to fake pass, jump up, fake pass, and pass to the big. Like, it's all just coming together, but it took 6-7 years.
Derek, in terms of unforgettable nights at Target Center, this ranks up there.
Damn.
In terms of your career, and where does this rank for you?
I mean, for me, it's only the beginning. Like, it's still seven, this is the 7th game tonight. 7th, 8th game. Like, it's still early in the season. Me and Cat was just laughing about and Jeff was just laughing about last game, how we've been missing bunnies, like missing layups, point blank layups. But I keep reminding them on the court that we didn't even get to game 10 yet. You know what I mean? To kind of ease his nerves, because y'all have something to do with it. The media have something to do with adding pressure to certain players, and he's young. Like, you got to be able to grow with a player. Like, of course, the burden is big. He got a huge burden on him, but that's why I'm here, to take it off and kind of let him know that, like, it's like clear his mind, you know, like it's a lot going on, but he's a talented player, and when he's out there, he don't need to be thinking either. He just need to play, shoot the shots that he want to shoot, and we'll just figure how to play around him.
Derek, as far as tonight goes, what's going to stick with you years from now, whether it's maybe a certain play or shot or just kind of the feeling?
What, tonight?
Yeah, what's going to stick with you years from now, do you think?
I mean, we still got how many games left? 70-some games left. So, I mean, we still got a lot more games left. We played in a couple of days. It's already behind me. And like I said, it's not boasting or bragging about it, but still got a lot more.
Derek, you mentioned Cat. It seemed like you guys had a great two-man game going throughout the night. That's not something we've seen a lot of with you two as a combo. Do you think that's something that maybe will be beneficial going forward?
I mean, it's up to Tibbs. I mean, they're giving me my shot. They want me to shoot. They're giving me whatever I want. It's all about what shot I want to take, and like looking at the game and just trying to like find ways to make the game easier for everyone else. Like, I had a bunch of, if anything, what I would remember tonight is the dumb turnovers I had. I'm just a perfectionist, and with those turnovers, I think that it made the game a little bit harder for everyone.
Derek, the way your teammates huddled around you, embraced you at the end of the game, what does that mean to a player to have them, I don't know, support you like that in that moment?
It means a lot, man. It means a lot. It shows you that we're coming together as a team. We're getting close, and just touching, bro. Like, just being in this position, like, it still didn't even hit me yet. You know what I mean? Like words can't explain how I feel right now. You know, like, it's been a while, bro.
You mentioned the haters last year a little bit. Is it nice to have a performance like this, even just a little bit, to maybe shut them up a little bit?
No, I'm past that, bro. I'm past the revenge part, and who said it? Frank Sinatra. I told you about that. The best revenge is massive success, and that's the mindset that I have right now. Like, it's not about getting revenge. I'm God gifted. I got God's talent. So if I just go out there and play, you'll be able to easily see that.
Derek, you kind of strike me as somebody who wouldn't publicly get emotional and show your emotions at the end of the game like that. Is any part of you trying to like control that, and it was just kind of uncontrollable as that final buzzer went off at the end of the game?
I mean, I'm still going. I look relaxed up here, but I'm jittery as hell on the inside. For real, bro. I probably don't go to sleep tonight until 5 or 4 or something like that. But it's just who I am. My demeanor is just who I am. Like, I'll never show how it affect me or how excited I am like that if I'm not on the court. So, but I'm very excited. It may not seem that way.
Another rebound. Exum has it blocked in the corner by who else? Dylan, 2011 MVP, Rose.
Everybody just streams out on the floor to greet him, showing the respect. And they all know what this means to him. They know what he's lost.
Derek. I can see you're very emotional. A huge victory for this team, and it comes from you and your career high 50 points. What does it mean to you, Derek?
Man, everything, man. I work my ass off, bro. I did this for the franchise, the organization, the fans, everybody, man. I wouldn't be able to play the way I play, man.
We weren't sure if it was the throwback jersey you were wearing, but you did look like Derrick Rose of old. And what did it feel like going through from beginning to end?
I'm doing anything just to win, man. I play my heart out. My teammates told me before the game, just play my game. And tonight was a hell of a night.
I'm D Rose.
Yeah, believe in yourself. Who else gonna believe in you? Career high for Derrick Rose.
That's crazy.
Who else gonna believe in you? Believe in yourself. Yeah. Who else gonna believe in you? Who else gonna believe in you? Who else gonna believe in you? Believe in yourself. Half a century for Derrick Rose here tonight.
And so what you've experienced thus far is a glimpse into the world of a highly gifted, athletic, wealthy, passionate, resilient, humble young man who makes a living as a professional basketball player and who has had a roller coaster ride of a career which has been scrutinized and criticized by the masses, contemporaries, media, and fans alike. And as you can see, that boy's still winning. He's still winning, man. I'm so proud of him. Without knowing the gentleman personally, I definitely resonate with him, his humility, his character. I just love it, man. You know, despite the naysayers, the haters, the shade throwers, he stayed true to who he is. He never let the outside world dictate his disposition, never let them dictate his decisions. He's always kept his inner circle tight and right. He's understood his value, and he stayed on top, man, in his personal life, and that's all that really matters, you know. And of course I'm talking about, you know, secularly speaking, as far as on the earth. We know that careers come, careers go, money comes, money goes, fame and fortune, it's here but for a second, man, for a snap, for a moment in time. But what's important is that when all that passes away, when the dust settles, our mental, our emotional, our physical, and our spiritual health is what's important. Our loved ones, our relationship to them is what's important. And we see that Mr. Rose has a complete handle on that. He understands that very, very well. And that's why I said that he's winning. I definitely applaud him for his grit. And I definitely still believe in him as a basketball player. But much, much, much more importantly than that, I believe in him as an enlightened young man who has shaped his perspective properly. He has his values properly aligned. Stay tuned, beloved, for that postscript. It's coming soon. Until then, be blessed and be a blessing.
I'm good, man. I'm at peace with myself.
That's a wrap. Don't forget to like, share, follow, subscribe, and comment. Also check us out on IG, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr, and Patreon, all under LUSU Media Group. And as always, you can get in-depth content on Patreon once you subscribe. Also check out our LUSU Designs lifestyle apparel, which you can now purchase online. See the description for the links. And last but certainly not least, shout out all my sponsors for their support. Definitely appreciate the love on there, and their info is also below in the description. All right, family. Until next time, be blessed and be a blessing.